Alright, it's the Legendary Sphere Base Feybreak edition. So this is the Legendary Sphere Base factory here on Feybreak. It is this location here, near the oil rig. So I'm using this as a sort of oil rig base right now as well, to go from here. A little bit cold in the water, looks like. Then we got 2 Hexolite nodes in the base. We also have 1 oil spot. So if you're not already using, or if you are already using this location here for triple Hexolite, this is a good option to build this. It's a little bit of a different kind of legendary sphere base than the previous ones. Since work speed has been worked around so much, all the ratios are kind of out the window. Everything is bottlenecked by Astagons. We want at least 1 Gygnus, 1 Anubis. I can show the pals real quick what we have. I should probably do that sometime in the video. But these are the maxed work speed pals. New Feybreak passives. They get quite a bit of work speed. They have the max souls, all the buildings, the research, everything is maxed. That can be maxed. Then 1 transporter. Seems to keep up pretty well with Anubis helping and then Orsurk helping when he's done with electricity. So that brings me to this part here. Now I've shown the Hexolite ore, I can turn mining on again. I'm gonna show one more thing first. I let the base run for 1 hour, and this is what it produced. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. I let the base run for 1 hour. Big reveal. This is about 9.5 million gold on average per day for this setup, because the first day is always a little bit slower. You need to get the goods going. So how you run the base is that you just turn on the mining for the Astagons. So let's do that. But just when you're starting the base for the first time, there's a bit of a startup process to this base that there wasn't in the previous versions. So you want to turn on the mining on all these Astagons. And then I can show the work assignments Noclum turned off here, because mining goes before transport. He won't transport otherwise. Same thing for Anubis. He does handiwork and then he helps transport. Orsurk does electricity and then helps transport. I'm currently breeding a better Orsurk. I haven't gone around to that yet, but he's mostly there just for the electricity. Then we have Bastigor. Also these are turned off, otherwise he won't do cooling at all. So it's mostly Noclum and then these doing the transporting. That's why you want to have multiple pits, so I can show the structures. Got 2 coal pits, got 3 ore locations. So the factory is based around visiting here each time you do the oil rig run, which is hopefully like once an hour. So that's how I've set it up. That's why I meant it's a little bit different than the previous ones. So every time you do the oil rig, you go here. Transporting probably won't have kept up with production. You have multiple structures, and then you might have to empty some structures manually whenever you want to do it, but it should be pretty fine. And if you start building, I've been considering moving like my other bases here to the area. You stay in render distance, it should be better. Or you could just switch out 1 or 2 Astagons for Noclum as well. It should be fine, won't affect too much. Because as I said about the ratios, so how you want to start the factory is you want to place 3 on each mine here, and then 3 on the coal mine, and then 1 on the stone. So this is a rough ratio to get you started. And what I've done with the chests is I've placed the fiber, and then I have the chest filters just on ore for this chest, because it's the Hexolite one. And over here as well, ores for the Paldium. There's gonna be Paldium. And why I've done this is kind of to keep them balanced later on. I'm gonna let them mine for a bit with assignment over there. So here we have the same thing. And here we have the same thing. So how this works is that once you get a little bit of a baseline, now that we've assigned them, you leave them for about a day. Then you can just turn this off again, and they will just go to whatever pit isn't full and do that. And then, like, if in case all of them, oh, we're gonna mine stone, you don't really want many of them on stone. That chest will fill up, the pit will fill up, and they will go to the other stations. And then eventually, if you're not visiting very often, you can start removing these. But that's just to make sure that you don't end up with a full stack of stone and no coal to start off. Just to keep it a little bit balanced. That's the startup process. So step 1 is to just fix these chests like that. Step 2 is to assign, let them build up a stash. And then you remove that and slowly start removing those wood or fiber or whatever you use to cover them. So I believe that is the setup here. So we've got 2 furnaces. I got a couple of belts that you can build kind of close onto each other. I built 8 of these. You need 4 per 999 legendary spheres, 999. I built 8 because if I'm not visiting every half hour, if I'm just visiting every hour, I'll queue up 8 instead. Same here. Instead of queuing up 2, which you need for a max queue of spheres, instead of queuing up 2 full pal metal, I queue up 4. So that's just like having extra structures for everything. It's just you have to visit less. You can just come, queue up those, queue, and visit a little bit less. So that is this legendary sphere base that's been running for this hour since I built it, and then I just turned everything off and checked how many resources I got. So I found that trying to calculate with all the rests and stuff that pals do, they're a little bit random with their sanity and stuff. It was a bit tricky to get a real number. So instead I just let the Astigons mine for 1 hour, turned them off, processed all the materials, and that was 1,500 legendary spheres, which was about 9.5 million gold. And then I should probably show you the sell team. What you need, or what you want rather, is these fine furs and noble. You want 5 pals with this. You put them on the party, they stack, you get 40% discount and sale price. So when you're buying stuff, and you are buying stuff, you're going to be buying some pal fluids or bones. If you don't have a ranch pal with this, or a ranch base somewhere else, you're going to be buying this. It's accounted for in the money made. It's not very expensive when you do that discounting. Especially now, all the research stuff like the bonus procs and everything that we're getting adds up a lot. That's why the money has gone up a bit in this legendary sphere base, despite being a little bit of a multitasking base with Hexolite and oil. So that's it for this legendary sphere base. If I've forgotten to say anything, just ask. I'll answer the comments. So for now, thanks for watching.